Chosen one, listen closely. The next 24 hours will not pass like the ones before. Something is stirring in the unseen, and your spirit already feels it. That tension in your chest. That sense of electricity running through your body. That unexplainable alertness that refuses to let you settle into the ordinary. It is not random. It is not coincidence. It is the pulse of heaven pressing against your timeline, signaling that change is not on the way, change is already here. You have been waiting, wondering, asking God if the seasons of delay were ever going to end. You've cried tears no one else has seen, prayed prayers no one else has heard, and still walked through storms that would have drowned most people. Yet somehow, you survived. Somehow, even in silence, you kept walking. And today, I am here to tell you, your endurance was not wasted. There is a divine interruption coming, the kind of shift that cannot be orchestrated by man, and cannot be reversed by enemies who tried to keep you bound. God has written into the next 24 hours a moment of acceleration, one that will confirm that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not overlooked. You are marked, set apart, chosen for something weightier than you imagined. And here's the urgency. This shift won't look like a parade. It won't always come with trumpets or applause. Sometimes it shows up in a quiet conversation that opens the right door. Sometimes in a sudden release of peace that lets you know the storm has broken. Sometimes in a coincidence that was never coincidence at all. You may not see the full picture yet, but you will feel the trembling of destiny under your feet. The next 24 hours are a proving ground, a crossing point, a bridge from what was into what must now be. And if you lean in, if you refuse to ignore the whispers, God will reveal why He kept you hidden, why He pressed you, why He delayed you, and why now He is moving. Stay with me, chosen one, because before this message ends, you will understand what these coming hours carry, how to recognize the signs, and how to position yourself so nothing is lost. You're about to see the fingerprints of God on your very timeline. This is not hype. This is not coincidence. This is prophecy. What you are feeling right now is not just anticipation. It is alignment. The unseen hand of God is arranging pieces you cannot see, weaving connections you could not force, and positioning you in a place that will make sense only when you look back. Every delay, every detour, every season that felt wasted is about to reveal its purpose. Nothing was accidental. Nothing was random. The message I carry to you does not come from human insight. It is not psychology. It is not theory. And it is not guesswork. This comes from the Spirit of the living God, who has chosen this very moment to pierce the silence and confirm what your soul already suspected. Heaven has issued a decree concerning your life, and that decree is beginning its manifestation now. Think of the prophets of old men and women who heard whispers in the night that no one else could hear. They stood trembling under the weight of a word they did not invent, compelled to speak what God Himself had spoken. That same prophetic current is flowing right now, not through ancient history, but through the air that is wrapping around you in this very moment. It is a rare thing, when time itself bends under divine command, but that is what is happening. Your hours are no longer ordinary hours. Your tomorrow is no longer just another tomorrow. Heaven has touched the next cycle of your time, and nothing can remain the same once heaven touches it. Understand this, God does not waste His voice. When He speaks, worlds are formed. When He speaks, seas divide. When He speaks, graves unlock. And now He has chosen to speak concerning you. That alone should cause your heart to bow in awe. You are hearing this because it was ordained for you to hear. Not everyone will. Not everyone can. This frequency is tuned only to those whose hearts have been tested, broken, and refined in the fire. You endured that fire, and because of it, you now carry access. So, what is coming is not simply about blessing. It is about destiny being unveiled in its right season. It is about the author of time announcing, "Enough waiting, enough wandering, the appointed hour has arrived." If you doubt this, think of how often you have felt the buildup, the restlessness in your sleep, the way your spirit has been unsettled, almost as if something within you was stretching against invisible walls. That was not anxiety. That was preparation. The Spirit of God has been whispering that the walls are about to break, the ceiling about to shatter, the invisible about to become visible. And when it happens, you will not be left guessing whether it was real. The mark of the divine is always unmistakable. The peace, the clarity, the doors, the timing together, they leave no room for doubt. This is not a random encouragement. It is a prophetic unveiling. Heaven's way of saying, be ready. The window has opened. I am moving on your behalf. Stay alert. Stay yielded. The next layer of this revelation is about to unfold. There is something written in your days that has been sealed until now. The scroll of your destiny has been turning quietly, page after page, while you wondered if heaven had forgotten to write the next chapter. But here is the unveiling. The next 24 hours have been stamped with a seal that reads, fulfillment begins. This is not vague hope. This is not a shallow declaration. This is God Himself moving into the timeline you occupy and bending it so that what was once far away is suddenly near. That prayer you prayed years ago, the one you almost stopped mentioning because it seemed too impossible, heaven is breathing on it again. That door you knocked on until your knuckles bled and then gave up on because it seemed permanently closed, it is shaking on its hinges even now. That battle you thought you would carry forever, the fear, the shame, the financial burden, the loneliness, it is not eternal. Its expiration has been announced. What is coming is the moment where your story takes a turn that only God could write. Think of Joseph forgotten in a prison, overlooked by those he had helped. One day he woke up thinking it would be like all the rest, and by evening he was standing before Pharaoh, clothed in authority. That is the nature of divine interruption. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't arrive on your schedule. It comes like fire, and once it does, no one can put it out. The Spirit says you are about to encounter a divine collision. The prayers of your past, the endurance of your present, and the promises of your future are meeting in one place, and the impact will be undeniable. This is why the last season felt so heavy, because heaven was aligning the exact moment where weight would turn into momentum. You may feel a trembling even as you hear this. That is not imagination. That is your spirit recognizing that what has been hovering above you in potential is now descending into reality. It is like the breaking of dawn. First the faintest glow, then the horizon catching fire, until suddenly darkness is swallowed whole. Understand, what is being unveiled is not only about personal blessing, though blessing will come. It is about positioning. God is positioning you as a living testimony. People who doubted you will have to watch as the impossible unfolds. Those who mocked you will have no words when they see doors open that no man can close. And those who quietly prayed for you will rejoice as they witness the evidence of answered prayer standing in front of them, you, transformed, elevated, unmistakably marked by God's hand. You have wondered why the warfare against you was so intense, why the pressure mounted when you tried to step forward, why you felt targeted from every angle. The answer is simple. The enemy read the signs of your timeline. He knew this hour was approaching. He knew if you reached this threshold, no chain could hold you, no lie could stop you, no delay could keep you back. So he tried to break you before the breakthrough. But he failed. And now the decree goes forth. Your next 24 hours will carry evidence that you are not abandoned. Watch closely. Listen carefully. Be discerning. The signs may not scream, they may whisper. But the whisper will carry the weight of eternity. This is not a call to wait passively. It is a call to recognize the shift, to walk in faith as if the promise is already in your hands, because spiritually, it is. Faith does not wait for visible proof. Faith sees what God has said and calls it real. If you can hold that posture in these hours, you will not miss what is unfolding. The unveiling has begun. You are stepping into the divine story that was written long before you were born. And nothing, no failure, no delay, no opposition has the authority to erase it. Pause for a moment and let this sink in. What you are stepping into is not just a change of circumstances, it is a shift of atmosphere. It is not simply that things around you will improve. It is that the meaning behind your struggle, the hidden pattern in your wilderness, will finally become visible. The unveiling of the prophecy is only the surface. The deeper layer is understanding why now. Every season you have endured was not wasted time, it was sacred time. You see, God does not measure seasons by calendars or clocks. He measures them by growth, obedience, and alignment. You thought you were just waiting for opportunities, but in reality, heaven was waiting for maturity. A seed does not sprout in the soil the moment it is planted. It has to die, be buried, and break open in darkness before it rises. That is why you were hidden. That is why you felt forgotten. Because what God was doing in you could not be displayed too early. The spiritual principle is this: destiny ripens in obscurity before it is revealed in light. Just as fruit must endure the heat of the sun and the weight of storms before it becomes sweet, your spirit had to endure pressure before it could carry glory. And now, after the crushing, comes the oil. After the pruning, comes the harvest. After the night, comes the morning. Think of the imagery of doors. For so long you stood before locked ones, pounding with desperate fists, praying that just one would open. But here is the mystery: you were never meant to walk through those particular doors. They were locked because they were not aligned with the blueprint heaven had written for you. If God had opened them early, they would have led you into places too small for your anointing, rooms too shallow for your depth, tables that could not hold the weight of what you carry. So he kept them closed, not to punish you, but to preserve you. And now, the right door is swinging open, and when it does, you will understand why every other one had to remain shut. Another metaphor: storms. You resented them, prayed against them, wished they would pass. But storms have a strange beauty. They uproot what is weak, strip away what is dead, and force you to find shelter in the only place that cannot be shaken: the presence of God. Without those storms, you might have built your identity on sand, but through them, you discovered the rock. You learned endurance. You discovered faith not as a theory, but as oxygen. And now, as the skies clear, you will realize the storm was never designed to destroy you. It was designed to reveal what cannot be destroyed. And then, there are seasons. Look at how creation itself speaks. Winter may look barren, but underground roots are strengthening. Spring brings sudden blossoms. Summer brings fruit. Autumn brings harvest. Your soul has mirrored these cycles. The cold of winter was your silence. The fragile buds of spring were your small breakthroughs. The weight of summer was the pressing heat of trials. But now you are standing at the edge of autumn, the season of visible harvest. What was invisible is about to show itself. This is why divine timing is everything. If you had received certain blessings before now, they would have slipped through your fingers. You did not yet have the strength to hold them. But God in His wisdom aligned your waiting with His perfect hour. And now, because you were willing to endure, you will not only receive, you will retain. The depth of this moment is this: it is not just about what God is giving you, it is about what He is making of you. Blessings come and go, but transformation remains. He is not only changing your circumstances, He is changing you. And the you who emerges in the next 24 hours will be unrecognizable compared to the you who was struggling just weeks ago. The meaning behind this prophecy is eternal. It is about more than breakthrough. It is about identity. God is showing you who you truly are: resilient, anointed, called, chosen. The struggles of your past were never evidence of abandonment. They were proof of preparation. The waiting was not punishment. It was the womb of your destiny. So when the fulfillment comes, and it will, you must remember what it cost you, what it shaped in you, what it revealed about the one who never left you. Because this is not the end. It is a threshold. You are being ushered into a level where your life becomes not just about survival, but about service. Not just about blessing, but about impact. Not just about living, but about legacy. The spiritual meaning of what is unfolding is this: your life is being synchronized with heaven's timing. And once that synchronization begins, momentum cannot be stopped. When heaven moves, the earth responds. What is stirring in the unseen will not remain hidden. You will begin to notice signs breaking into your natural life, hints and whispers that point to the shift already underway. These signs are not random. They are markers, placed along your path by God, to confirm that what you are sensing is real and not imagination. Pay attention, because the next 24 hours will carry these confirmations like footprints leading you forward. The first sign is divine interruption. Something small but unusual will happen: an unexpected message, a sudden change of plans, a conversation that feels oddly timed. At first you might dismiss it, but when you pause, you'll realize it's heaven nudging you out of routine. God rarely whispers in thunder. He often whispers in timing. Watch how the interruptions point you toward alignment. The second sign is restlessness, giving way to peace. You've carried tension in your chest, sleepless nights, waves of anxiety that made no sense. But suddenly, almost without explanation, you'll feel a calm descend. Not because your circumstances are fixed yet, but because your spirit knows they're already shifting. That peace is not natural, it is supernatural. A confirmation that the storm has been commanded to quiet. The third sign is repetition. You'll begin to hear the same phrase, scripture, or theme echoing through different voices on the radio, in a conversation, even scrolling online. It will feel like the world is conspiring to remind you of the same truth. That's not coincidence. That's heaven making sure you cannot miss the message. When repetition floods your awareness, know that it is confirmation. The fourth sign is resurfacing connections. Someone you haven't heard from in a long while may suddenly reach out, or an old opportunity may reappear. It won't be nostalgia, it will be destiny. The resurfacing will not drag you backward but propel you forward, reminding you that God wastes nothing, not even past relationships or encounters. He recycles them at the right moment for your advancement. The fifth sign is a quickened spirit. You'll notice your sensitivity to God sharpen. A verse will pierce deeper than usual. A dream may linger with unusual clarity. A sudden boldness will rise in you to speak what you once stayed silent about. This quickening is not emotion, it is your spirit aligning with the Spirit of God. And the sixth sign is divine confirmation through others. Someone may speak words to you that echo exactly what you've been sensing but hadn't told anyone. They will unknowingly confirm the shift, proving that heaven has orchestrated agreement on your behalf. Do not look for all the signs at once. Even one is enough. God is not trying to overwhelm you. He is trying to awaken you. The signs are not meant to entertain your curiosity, but to solidify your faith. And when they come, don't just notice them, acknowledge them. Pause and say, I see you, God. I recognize your movement. That recognition will anchor you so you cannot be shaken when resistance tries to rise. The signs are already forming, and soon, you'll realize you're not waiting for change anymore, you're living inside it. Every divine shift is preceded by resistance, not because God is uncertain, but because whenever heaven advances a decree, the enemy scrambles to delay, distract, or discourage those meant to receive it. Do not be surprised then, if the next 24 hours are not only marked by signs of confirmation, but also by sudden tests. These are not punishments. They are indicators that breakthrough is near. The first hidden challenge is the voice of doubt. You may hear it rise louder than usual, thoughts that whisper, nothing is really happening. You're imagining it. Nothing ever changes for you. Understand this. Doubt is the last attempt of darkness to blind you before light fully breaks. When the volume of doubt increases, it is not evidence of failure, it is proof that you are on the edge of fulfillment. The second challenge is misunderstanding from others. Someone close to you may question your decisions, dismiss your faith, or even mock the urgency you feel. They will not understand why you are expectant, why you sense something holy in the air. Remember, not everyone can hear the frequency you're tuned into. When others cannot see what you see, do not let their blindness rob your vision. The third challenge is old patterns resurfacing. Suddenly, temptations you thought you'd overcome may try to return. Fear may knock again. Anxiety may flare. A door from your past may swing open, as if to lure you back into old cycles. Do not be deceived. This is not regression. It is exposure. God is allowing these patterns to surface so you can close them once and for all before stepping fully into the new. The fourth challenge is delay in appearance. You may feel the shift spiritually, but see no evidence in the natural, at least not yet. That waiting space can be agonizing, but remember, seeds sprout underground before they ever break the surface. The delay is not denial. It is the final moment before manifestation. The fifth challenge is fatigue. You may suddenly feel unusually tired, as though your strength is draining at the very moment you need it most. This is not just physical, it is spiritual opposition. Recognize it, and instead of pushing harder in your own strength, draw deeper from God's presence. In your weakness, His power is revealed. And the sixth challenge is distraction. Small annoyances, unexpected arguments, sudden emergencies may pop up to steal your focus. These are not accidents. They are designed to pull your attention from the whisper of God. Stay centered. Do not let small fires distract you from the great flame being kindled in your spirit. Hear this clearly. Hidden challenges are not signs that you are off track. They are proof that you are on the right one. The enemy would not fight so hard if there were nothing to fight for. And God allows the pressure not to break you, but to prove you. To anchor your faith so deeply that when the blessing manifests, you will not credit man, coincidence, or luck. You will know it was God alone. So when the challenges appear, do not collapse under them. Recognize them for what they are. The final trembling before birth. Hold steady. Keep your eyes fixed. Because what follows resistance is release. Now comes the part many overlook. Signs can stir your faith, and challenges can test it, but what secures your breakthrough is obedience. When God moves, He always provides instruction, not as a burden, but as alignment. These steps are not optional. They are sacred positioning. If you treat them lightly, you risk missing the moment. If you honor them, you will find yourself standing in the exact place where heaven's release collides with your readiness. The first instruction is quiet your spirit. In the next 24 hours, the noise of distraction will try to pull you in a dozen directions. Guard your inner atmosphere. Carve out moments of silence where your heart can actually hear. Turn off what drains you. Step away from conversations that spiral into negativity. Create a sanctuary within, because the whisper of God will not fight with noise. The second instruction is, speak faith, not fear. Your words are keys. Every time you agree with doubt, you close a door. Every time you declare faith, you open one. In these hours, discipline your tongue. Instead of saying, I don't see it happening, declare, it is unfolding now. Instead of saying, I'm tired of waiting, declare, I am prepared for what God has written. Heaven listens. The atmosphere responds. Angels move at the sound of God's word spoken through your lips. The third instruction is, stay watchful. Do not dismiss small shifts. That random conversation, that unusual opportunity, that sudden urge to pray. These are not accidents, they are invitations. Stay awake in your spirit. Ask God to sharpen your discernment so you can recognize the difference between a distraction and a divine setup. The fourth instruction is, release what no longer belongs. Some of you still carry habits, relationships, or mindsets that cannot walk with you into this next chapter. If you sense God nudging you to let go, obey quickly. Do not drag dead weight into your future. Obedience is not loss, it is clearance. Every time you release, you make room for what heaven is trying to place in your hands. The fifth instruction is worship through the weight. Worship is not filler, it is warfare. It shifts atmospheres faster than worry ever could. When you lift your voice in gratitude before the promise fully arrives, you prove to heaven and hell alike that your faith is unshakable. Worship says, even if I don't see it yet, I know who holds it. And that posture accelerates fulfillment. The sixth instruction is, write down what you sense. Keep a record. Journal the whispers. Record the dreams. Note the confirmations. These will become anchors in days when doubt tries to return. They will also serve as testimony later, proof that God spoke and performed exactly as He said. The seventh instruction is act as if it's already here. This is not pretense, it is faith in motion. Prepare like the door has already opened. Position yourself as though the answer has already landed. If you've been believing for provision, make space in your budget for overflow. If you've been believing for healing, speak and move like restoration is already at work. This is not denial, it is prophetic agreement. And the final instruction, stay humble. When the breakthrough comes, and it will, it is not for boasting, it is for witness. Your elevation will be a platform for God's glory, not your ego. Carry it with reverence. Let your story point upward, not inward. That humility will protect your blessing and multiply its impact. Do you see now? These instructions are not tasks to check off. They are spiritual coordinates. If you follow them, you won't just encounter the shift, you'll embody it. You'll stand exactly where heaven intended, fully prepared to hold what others drop, fully aligned with the weight of destiny pressing into your life. The hours ahead are holy. Treat them as such. Every choice, every word, every posture of your heart matters. And when the window opens, you will not be caught scrambling, you will be ready. After weighty instruction often comes the fear. What if I fail? What if I'm not strong enough? What if the enemy finds a way to ruin this? Hear this clearly, God would not call you to this moment without covering you. The shift unfolding in your life is not dependent on your perfection. It rests on His protection. You are not walking through these next 24 hours unguarded. Angels have been assigned to you. Some of you have already felt their presence in the quiet, those chills on your arms when you begin to pray, the sense of being watched over in moments of danger, the unexplainable escapes from situations that could have ended far worse. That was no accident. That was divine security. And it will not lift now. It will increase. Picture it, a hedge of fire encircling your life. Darkness may draw near, but it cannot cross the flame. This is the reality of divine covering. The same God who shut the mouths of lions around Daniel, who placed a pillar of fire between Israel and their enemies, who blinded the eyes of soldiers hunting Elisha, this same God is surrounding you now. So when fear rises, remind yourself, I am not alone. When doubt shouts, remember, He goes before me, and He is my rear guard. When the enemy whispers threats, declare, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. These are not empty declarations, they are spiritual shields. Even in the hidden challenges, God is present. When fatigue comes, His strength sustains. When distractions rise, His Spirit recenters you. When misunderstanding wounds you, His voice affirms you. At no point are you walking this path unaccompanied. You are being escorted into your breakthrough. And here is the greater assurance. What God has decreed cannot be revoked. The blessing written over your life is not up for negotiation. No curse, no betrayal, no opposition can erase it. At best, the enemy can attempt delay. But even then, God uses delay as preparation. In the end, what is yours by divine right will not pass you by. So take heart. Let peace anchor you. Even if chaos swirls, it cannot enter the sanctuary of your spirit unless you allow it. Breathe deep. Lift your head. Rest in the knowledge that God Himself is guarding both the path and the promise. And as you walk through these hours, you'll begin to notice it not only the signs of confirmation, but the unmistakable sense of covering. You will walk into rooms and feel an unseen presence with you. You will rest tonight and sense watchmen standing at your door. You will realize that you are carried, not by your own strength, but by everlasting arms that cannot fail. Protection is not the absence of battle. It is the guarantee of survival, the promise of victory, the assurance of destiny fulfilled, and that protection is your inheritance. So move forward without fear. What surrounds you is greater than what opposes you. The hand of God is upon you, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can snatch you out of it. What you are about to experience is not just a subtle adjustment. It is a transformation so profound that when you look back, you will barely recognize the version of yourself who stood in yesterday's shadows. Fulfillment does not come gently. It redefines everything it touches. Think of a seed breaking through the soil. For so long it was buried, unseen, pressed beneath weight and darkness. But when its time comes, nothing can restrain it. It pierces through the ground, stretches toward the light, and begins to manifest what was hidden all along. That is what is happening within you. You are rising into visibility, not as something new, but as the fullness of what you always carried. In these next hours, you will begin to notice your perspective changing. Fear that once paralyzed you will lose its grip. Where you used to hesitate, you will move boldly. Where you used to shrink back, you will step forward. This is the fruit of transformation. When God touches your identity, your actions naturally follow. You will begin to live as though the promise is already here, because in the spiritual realm it is. And fulfillment is not only about inward change, it is about outward manifestation. Watch as doors swing open, as opportunities align, as provision comes in unexpected ways. What you once strained for will begin to find you. The phone call, the invitation, the moment of clarity, it will appear, and you will know instantly, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes. The emotional impact of this fulfillment will be undeniable. Tears will fall, not of sorrow, but of recognition. You will remember the nights of silence, the years of wandering, the countless prayers that seemed unanswered, and you will see how every thread was weaving toward this. Gratitude will overwhelm you, because what is unfolding will not only answer prayers, it will exceed them. God never restores you to the same level you lost. He multiplies, He redeems, He overwhelms with goodness that silences doubt. But even beyond gratitude, Fulfillment carries responsibility. When you step into this new chapter, others will notice. Some will be inspired, some will be convicted, some will be threatened. Do not let the reactions of others shape how you walk. Your transformation is not a performance, it is a testimony. The best way to honor what God has done is to keep your eyes on Him, not on the applause or the resistance of people. And here is the deepest truth. Fulfillment is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of a greater one. This is not the destination, but the launch. What God is placing in your hands is not only for you, but for those you are called to touch. You will carry wisdom born of fire, compassion born of pain, authority born of endurance. That is why the journey was so long, why the struggle was so fierce, because what you carry is not lightweight, it is world-shifting. So prepare your heart, because transformation will not be gradual. It will feel sudden, almost overwhelming. One moment the door was locked, the next it is wide open. One moment you were overlooked, the next you are elevated. One moment you were empty, the next you are overflowing. This is the nature of divine fulfillment. It accelerates what man thought would take years into moments. And when it comes, breathe it in, stand in awe, lift your hands in worship, because what you are about to see is not only a blessing, it is the revelation of God's faithfulness. You will know beyond all doubt that His timing is perfect, His word is true, and His promises never fail. We have walked together through the unveiling, the meaning, the signs, the challenges, the instructions, the assurance, and now the vision of your transformation. All of it has been leading to this moment where you stand ready to step into the next 24 hours, not in fear, but in faith. Before you move forward, seal this truth inside of you with words of power. Speak them aloud, let them sink into your spirit, and return to them whenever doubt tries to whisper. These are your affirmations. 1. I am aligned with God's timing. Nothing can move me out of position. 2. I am protected, surrounded, and carried by divine covering. San, I am prepared to receive, to hold, and to steward what is coming. 4. I am a living testimony of God's faithfulness and power. Repeat them until they become the rhythm of your breath. These words are not empty, they are anchors. Each time you speak them, you are agreeing with heaven's decree and silencing the lies of darkness. And now, let me bless you. May the next 24 hours unfold in divine order. May every hidden sign be revealed to you clearly. May every challenge you face become a stepping stone that proves your strength. May every door that belongs to you swing wide without resistance. May peace settle on your mind, courage flood your heart, and joy break open in your spirit. I bless your sleep, that it will be filled with dreams of clarity. I bless your waking hours, that divine appointments will meet you at the right time. I bless your relationships, that only those aligned with your destiny will remain. I bless your hands, that whatever you touch will prosper under God's covering. Above all, I bless your faith that it will not waver, that it will rise, that it will carry you into the place God has already written for you. You are not waiting for victory, you are walking into it. You are not hoping for change, you are becoming it. Walk forward now with expectancy. Do not look over your shoulder in fear. Do not second-guess what you've heard. Heaven has spoken, and heaven will perform. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter, filled with evidence of God's hand on your life. Go in peace, go in strength, go in faith, because the next 24 hours will change you, and God is moving.